Hi everyone. In the last lecture, we created our first macro by recording it. And in this lecture, we will look at it in more detail. And I will give a comparison of Excel, Excel Online, and Google Sheets. Let's first start with Excel, something we're all comfortable with. I'm writing Hello World. And we want to save the Excel file on our desktop. So we will call this Excel underscore macro. But make sure to save it not as an Excel file, so not as XLSX, but as a macro enabled workbook, which is Excel SM. This is very important. Since we are writing a macro, we have to save it as a macro enabled workbook. Let us save it. To record a macro, you will need the developer tab, which has to be enabled. To do this, go to File, go to Options, and then go to Customize ribbon. On the right side, you will find the tab for the developer tab, which you will have to tick. Once you have done that, click on OK, and you should see the developer tab with you. The developer tab is available on all versions of Excel. It is not available online, but on the desktop application, it is available on all versions of Excel. We have the record macro button here. And if I click on that, you can see that it is asking us for the name of the macro. I'm going to call this absolute macro. And once we've done that, I am not going to change the description or the storage location or add a shortcut. We will just click on OK. And we just want to perform a simple action. So that would be Control B. Once we've done Control B, I will also do a center align. And that should be good. Go back to developer and stop the recording. And let us see if it works or not. So if we have another sheet on which we have written something else, let's say by world, and I go to developer and click on macros, you see that the absolute underscore macro is present here. And if we click on run, it works perfectly. But if we have another sheet where we have written something in B1 and I go back to macros and run it, you notice that it is still working. Now, if you really think about it, this is a little odd in the sense that why is the macro working even though we have gone to a different cell? Now, some of you might say it's a good thing, but then you have to be really cautious about this. Since this example was very simple, we saw that the code, since we did not move the cell, the code was able to run the macro on the active cell. But what if the problem was a little more difficult? Let me explain it like this. So we have written name, we have written sales, and I've written A, B, C, and we've written 1, 2, and 3. Please look at the problem statement this time. We are starting on A1, so developer, and I will click on record macro, and this time we will say absolute sum underscore macro. Absolute sum underscore macro. Click on OK. Now you notice that I first have to press the down arrow 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Then I write total. And then on the right, we write equal to sum of these three numbers. Let me also make it center aligned so it looks nice. And we will go back to developer and stop the recording. Let's try to do it once again. So on the same sheet, I will go back to A1 and I will click on macros and run the macro that we just recorded called absolute sum underscore macro. And when we run it, you notice it works perfectly. But if I put these values in some different cells and I go back to A1 and I say macros, absolute, run, look what happens. It does not work. It continues to show me the total in A5 and the, the value, the formula in B5. Now, some of you must be thinking, but what if we start by selecting C1? Let us do that. I've selected C1 and I run the macro, but it still does not work. So now I hope why you can see why this is a problem, because if your cells are in the same position and it's a slightly longer code, like the previous example of hello world was just the active cell, but this time we are selecting a range of cells, it becomes a challenge because absolute means that Excel is thinking that I as a user always want to select A1 till B4. It doesn't understand that the values can be in different cells. So this time I'm going to go to record macro, but before doing that, you notice that there is a button here called use relative references. So remember in Google Sheets, we had the same option. We had relative and absolute. So we will click on this button. And as you can see, this button has been pressed. Let me record the macro once again. So I will start at A1. We click on record macro. And we will say relative sum underscore macro. So we will press the down arrow 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I will write total and we will write equal to sum of these three numbers. Works perfectly. Let us stop the recording. Obviously, when we run the macro, it works. But what will happen if I put this in a different column? Let's say column C and column D. Make sure to select C1. Since it is a relative macro, the starting point has also to be reassigned. It can't be A1 anymore, it has to be C1. So macros, and I say relative sum macro and run it. And this time you notice that it works perfectly. Let's go to the Visual Basic environment and see what code has been written. So remember, just like we have the integrated development environment on the browser in the case of Google Sheets, in the case of Excel, you can click on Visual Basic. Ignore this rubber duck that you see. This is an add-in that I have. You don't need it and you don't need to bother with that. Okay, let me just clean up a little bit. On the left side, you can see a list of all the workbooks that are open on your computer. For now, we are working on the workbook called Excel underscore macro. By chance, if you cannot see the project window with the list of all the workbooks, just go to view and then select the project explorer. And now we click on Excel macro. And you can see here that we have sheet 1, we have this workbook, and in modules we have module 1. And this everybody is where the code has been recorded. So in Google, this is where the code was being recorded. And in Excel, this is the environment where a module has been created and the code is being recorded. Now, the first one that we did, which was the absolute macro, we don't really need it, so I will delete it. Let us focus on the absolute sum macro. If you see this, there is quite a bit of difference between both of them. And the first difference that you would notice is that in the absolute macro, it is selecting range A5. That means making it center aligned, and in range B5, remember we wrote the formula. This is happening on the same cell every single time. That means A5 and B5 will never change. That means that the moment our data shifted to column C and column D, the code was not able to understand that because A5 and B5 here have been hard coded. But in the case of the relative sum macro, you will notice that it is doing something called active cell offset. You will see the same thing in Google Sheets as well. So the idea here is that the cell which we were selecting, which was, remember, C1, it went 1, 2, 3, and 4 cells down. That is why it is saying that it went 4 rows down, and 0 means that it was in the same column. And do not be confused with this A1 here. The A1 does not refer to the cell A1, it actually refers to the active cell. That means the cell from where you're doing an offset. I agree that some of this might seem a little difficult. I have a complete course on VBA, which is an introductory course for absolute beginners on VBA. So if you're interested, maybe you can look at that. But the idea here is that this was just to give you a very high level overview without getting into details. The big takeaway is that there are two types of macros, relative and absolute. And absolute means that the operation or the actions or the task will happen on the same cell every single time, while relative means that it will happen on a new set of cells, rows, or columns, whichever you have selected. And both of these are very handy. And as a matter of fact, both of these are used equally. So it's not that one is better than the other. Let me take the data back to Google Sheet. I'm just creating a new sheet here. And let me write not write, but rather record the macro for you. This time we can do it a little faster since we already know the difference between relative and absolute. So first we will go to Tools, Macros, and Record Macro. And this time we will select absolute. So I'm going to select A5, write total equal to sum, and we get the result. Let me save it. And we will call this absolute sum. Let me copy the data in a new set of columns. And this time we will say tools, macros, and we will again record a macro. And this time we have to select relative references. So we will press the down arrow a few times. So 1, 2, 3, 4 total. And this is 6, which is equal to sum of all the numbers. And save it. We call this a relative sum. As you can see, if I try to run the absolute sum, despite selecting F1, when I run the absolute sum, the result still comes in A5 and B5. But if we select F1 and we select relative sum, you can see that the result comes in the correct place. Let's go back to manage macros and we will edit the script. And you can see here that all the three macros can be seen. So the first macro that we had written earlier in the last lecture, but let's focus on absolute sum and relative sum. So the first thing we do is to select the active worksheet, which we are doing in both of them. After that, in absolute, we are selecting A5, putting the word total, selecting B5 and writing a formula. But in the relative one, we are doing offset 4, 0. That means we went 4 rows down. We put in the value total. Then we did 0, 1. So I hope you can see what 0, 1 means. It means that since we were already on F5, we went in the same row, 1 column to the right. That's why we said 0, 1. That means on the same row, 1 column to the right. Then we wrote the formula. But if you look at the formula in the absolute one, it very neatly and very simply says sum of B2 colon B4. But in this case, it says R minus 3 C0, R minus 1 C0. That means from the current cell, it selected the 3 previous rows, same column, till the previous row. That means it selected minus 3, which is 1, 2, 3, and then minus 1, which is C. So it selected these three values, or rather 1, 2, and 3, like this. In fact, if I go back to VBA, you notice that here as well, it is very similar to how we have done it on Google Sheets. Like I said earlier, if you search for apps script, convert VBA, you can see that Google has provided an option for you to convert your VBA macros to app script. They have also given a lot of explanation as to how this will work. I will not get into details here. You can go through the link and see how it works. It's very handy that they have done it. Now, do not expect a 100% conversion. There might be many issues that you face, but even if 60-70% of your VBA work can be converted, I think that's absolutely fantastic. But do make sure to read the documentation before doing anything. Now, the final thing I want to show you is Excel Online. Let me first create a new sheet. Now, do keep in mind that Automate, which I have available on Excel Online, in all likelihood, you would not have this because this is only available for business users of Excel. If you do have a corporate account, even so, it is unlikely that you might have it because your admin has to enable it. So please make sure to speak to your IT administrator and ask them to enable Automate for you. Let us see how this works. So let me copy the same data and we will say record actions is starts to record. Do keep in mind that here you don't have the ability of choosing relative versus absolute. So I will click on A5, we will write total, and then we will write equal to sum of B2 colon B4. Let me now stop the recording. Let us first see if it is working or not. Then I will show you the code. So we run the script that we have just recorded, and you can see that it works perfectly. And when we edit it, you can see that this is using a different language called TypeScript. TypeScript is based on JavaScript, so it shares a lot of similarity, but it has some additional features. And TypeScript has been created and it is being maintained by Microsoft. So what are we doing here? The function is main workbook Excel script workbook. So we're selecting the Excel workbook. Then we're saying that the selected sheet is equal to workbook.get active worksheet. If you compare it, you will notice that it's quite similar. Here you're saying that spreadsheet app.get active, and here we are saying workbook.get active worksheet. This is a comment where it says that we are selecting A5 to B5. And then finally, it says that in the selected sheet, the range A5 to B5, we are putting a formula. So total comes in A5 and the sum of B2 colon B4 comes in B5. Like I said earlier, if you want to make it relative, then you will have to do that manually. At the moment, whatever you're doing will happen as an absolute reference. So that completes our very long lecture, but this was very important for you to see on different platforms. So Excel desktop, Excel online, and on Google Sheets, how differently the concept of absolute and relative macro recording works.